How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome to our stream. Today's Thursday, November 14th. Our topic for today is going to be something very important to us as business people. Our shows are meant to help those people that are hiring DJs and also DJs, because we've seen a large group of DJs following our stream. So that's the topic for today. The topic for today is growing your business through networking and stepping out from behind your booth. My name is Frank Perez with Elegante Entertainment, and I'm here with
DJ Gman from Excellence Entertainment.
And today we have a special host from here in Houston. We have Mr. DJ Mikey Mike. Mikey Mike, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
I'm having fun already, so thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So you got some topics for us. Is that right?
Well, I wanted to talk about the power of networking, but I kind of wanted to direct it more for the DJ and industry professionals because we are in front of a lot of people, not just our clients, but a lot of the events that we do. Like if we do a festival, a corporate event, you know, there's all kinds of vendors that we meet, and so those are extra opportunities if those are not nurtured or watered into growing into a really awesome relationship that can bring you more jobs, more opportunities, and even new markets that you may have not twice about doing. So just, you know, we're trying to get you to utilize all your resources and the people that you come across with. Wedding planners, event planners, coordinators, photographers, caterers, human resources, you know, all those are people that is really a part of the team that creates and produces, you know, a groove event, as I call it.
Awesome. That sounds like a pretty good introduction to our topic. So people would think that networking is not important or is not really something that they look into when starting out a business, right? Like, especially as us DJs, we think, okay, we're just going to show up and play some music and that's it, right? And then people are going to hire us and we're going to have fun and party forever. Right? Is that's thinking? That's pretty much the same.
That's pretty much the general mindset, and that's also shooting yourself in the foot.
Oh man, that must hurt.
And part of that is lack of education and lack of knowing what business really is and what you're getting into when you start DJing, right?
Yeah, it's trying to grow as a entrepreneurial, as a successful multi-operator. If you're trying to grow the branches in your business, is to network, step out behind from your booth, have enough confidence to be able to walk to anybody in this industry and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, what do you do?
Right.
You know, and network, because believe me, the days of trying to just hand out a business card are gone.
Yeah. So I just walk up to you, give you my business card, and expect you to call me. That doesn't work.
That doesn't work. It's like I learned that when I was in the film business for about 20 years. It's like giving a headshot to a casting director, and a lot of it goes just in the trash. But unless you establish a relationship with the casting director or the people that are in charge, then after a long period of time, they're going to remember you, the unique qualities that you have, the different branding that you have, and that's how a lot of 70% of your opportunities are created. At 70% of business is always created through the power of networking.
Nice.
So if you're not networking, you're definitely missing out on 7 times whatever your business booking right now, or 3.5 times. Depends on how you do the math.
Yeah, you might as well stay
exactly.
You might as well stay in your
but
closet.
70% more of events, that's a big increase.
It is, because you're right there. I'm not trying to do a John Cena thing. You're right there in front of their face,
right?
You know, and these event planners, coordinators, they want to establish a bridge. They want to get to know you. And it's just like reality 3D. More people are interested these days in watching a movie that's in virtual reality 3D because of the experience. And it's the same thing in the power of networking. It's creating that experience with that potential client and that vendor, where it's like what you're doing now, streaming live.
Yeah.
You are live right in front of them. And you know, people are like, oh, I don't have time to network because if I go to this industry event, I've got to pay $20 for a dinner or a fundraiser or whatever it is. Believe me, you can turn those $20 that you can invest into $2,000 if you network and in an ethical way, in a consistent way, and you continue to take their business card, their information, and just water it. Keep watering it so that they can get to know you. But more than anything, they want to get to know what is unique about you as far as the average DJ.
Okay. So just asking for a business is also not a good idea. Like say, hey, Mike, you're a planner. I'm a DJ. If you ever need my business, you know, if you ever need, what is a good way to build that relationship with that planner, with that photographer, with that professional that's going to refer you more business? Is it just asking for the business or making a friendship? How does one go about it?
Well, you got to first make sure you like that. You like their business.
That's a good point.
You know, I've done quite a few events where we don't provide photo booths, where the client may invite or hire someone else. So during those 4 or 5 hours, I'm watching the photo booth people. I'm watching the photographer. I'm watching how they work,
how they interact.
You know, and if I'm impressed, I'm going to go up to them at the end of the event and I'll say, hey, you know, I really like the way you guys work. You guys were always on top of it, you know, and you had your table had some really creative hats and all this stuff. And I would love to, you know, recommend you, maybe, you know, have you as a preferred vendor. That's where you can exchange.
So if we were to break it down, you're giving a couple of, you know, props to their work, the way they work, and just kind of break the ice a little bit, and then, you know, tell them what you liked about their business. Yes. And then, you know, kind of get in their minds so they can think, oh, wow, this guy appreciates the work that I did.
Exactly.
This is another professional in my level of expertise. Is that?
Yes, it is. And it's through, you know, staying positive. And what I like to do is I like to encourage other professionals, whether you're a DJ, a photographer, a caterer. I like to encourage them on the strengths that I recognized. Okay. You know, like yesterday, I was at the George R. Brown convention as a guest for this senior citizen luncheon. And the DJ that was there, man, he had a great setup. I think he was using the RCF's Evolve, you know. Okay. And that's the first time I've heard that size. But it, you know, it just sounded sweet. So anyway, I got up, I excused myself from my table. I went up to the DJ. I didn't introduce myself. I just went up to him. I said, man, those RCFs sure do sound good. I've always wanted to hear them. I haven't had a chance, but man, that sounds good from where I'm sitting at. And by the way, your wireless microphone is crispy. Keep up the good work. And I went and sat down. I didn't stand there and say, well, you know, my name is so-and-so. I've been in the business for a long time. I do all this. No, you don't want to create that competition, you know?
Right.
So as I was walking away, that's when he said, by the way, what's your name and what do you do? Now that you asked.
Yeah. So you built it up to where it naturally came from them.
Yes,
absolutely. A natural asking. And that's a bigger step than just giving out a handed card.
It is, because that's how bridges are built. Because each side.
When I started, honestly, my idea of networking was going to a networking meeting, handing out my cards, and then expecting people to call me. So we were taking it to the next level for those people that were at that level or at that stage back when or some people are starting out right now and they don't understand the power of networking. They might have never even heard that DJs can network or don't understand what the meaning of network is.
Exactly.
One of the other ways we network is with other DJs. Is that right? So we Mike, Gman, myself, we all get together every once in a while, just kind of, nothing DJ related, just hang out.
Yeah, it's good to hang out sometimes with fellow DJs as well, just forget about DJ, for a little bit, which is good because guess what? At the end of the night, we're still going to be talking about DJ stuff, no matter what.
You learn a little more something about that person.
Exactly.
And
how he can help you or fit into a potential client that you can refer them to. And that's what networking is, saying, hey, I have a client that needs XYZ. You do XYZ pretty good. Are you interested in working with that client? And pass the referral. So
exactly,
opening up your experience to other DJs is another good way to network.
Absolutely, and there are some more local DJ networks that are now starting to pop up in Houston again.
Okay.
We kind of had that in the late 80s and 90s. Things kind of fizzled out.
Early 2000s.
More and more of the local DJs started going to the national network DJs like the ADGA, NAME, ARM DJs, those networks, but a lot of local DJs, they like to kind of stay home and just network there. So it's good to see a resurgence of DJ networking here in Houston, Galveston, Conroe area.
Okay, cool. Let me just take a moment to say hello to the people that are watching us. We actually kind of had a few following. We got Carlos Amal, who I did her wedding a few years ago. DJ Gman is watching us. Oh, you're watching us. Marcelino Torrillo, who I went to school with. Argelio DeLeon is one of those DJs that's always supporting us and sharing the good word. DJ Angel Tapia, Leticia Evans, somebody else I went to school with. Mr. Ivan Colmenares, speaking of networking DJ masters, Mr. Ivan, we've been trying to get him on the show, but he's not cooperating.
He's always
busy. So he's the main reason we kind of hooked up, right? We kind of met.
Yes.
We got Luis E. Garcia, Carlos Ramirez, Build Them Up and Not Yourself. Ivan Colmenares is commenting about the point where we were networking with other people and building them up, not yourself. So, like I said, give them some compliments on their work.
On their work, exactly. Even though if they're beginners, I think that's
we've all been there.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that talks very good about you. I really like the way you said it. You approach to that DJ and say, "Hey, I like your RCF speakers."
Yeah,
that was a great compliment. It's like you're saying, "Hey, I like your
especially for DJs."
Exactly.
We love our gear
because this is such an ego-driven industry. So if you approach not just any DJ, any industry professional with humility,
that's the word.
It comes back.
And that shows that you are not a humble DJ yourself.
DJ Ivan is the networking king. Guess who said it? DJ Ivan.
DJ Ivan, right? He's the networking king.
Good topics, guy. Argelio DeLeon. I like to talk to the coordinator after every event, but then a couple of days later follow up with an email again saying it was a pleasure to work with them. That's a good idea?
Yes, not only that, and that's smart by waiting a couple of days. Okay. You don't want to do a day or two and show your desperation, and also you may want to inject something that they mentioned during a conversation. Maybe their daughter was having her birthday, maybe they're getting ready to take a vacation, but always inject something that you remember about your conversation with them. That's like icing on the cake. That's a plus.
Awesome. So
because that shows that you were listening.
Oh,
and that's really the sale. Any sale in any business is 90% listening.
We got Oscar just joined us. Oscar Gonzalez.
I love Oscar.
Mr. Oscar,
go back.
Good guy. Yeah, he's always.
And actually, My DJ business began because of people that I networked with.
Okay.
Oscar, 40 years ago, because he recommended me to a radio station that was looking for bilingual DJs. And so it was a perfect fit. And Oscar's like, hey, you need to call this guy Bob Gaffner of Good Time Music. He's a director at KLDE Oldies 94.5. He's looking for some guys.
Okay.
So it was through that referral, that network, that gave me an opportunity to work with another DJ company for a few years until I got that ball rolling.
Awesome. Got you going.
I'm forever grateful, Oscar. Thank you for being that seed right there, because you got my groove going.
Awesome. Yeah, I've known Oscar for a few years also.
Awesome,
He's a
great.
good person.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got more questions from Ivan. We got people watching: Alan Vasquez, Antonio Salgado, Gordon Delantry. On that note, I want to remind everybody that we're also live on Twitter. We're also live on YouTube. Let me see if I can find the link to YouTube on the comments. Okay, so if you do comment on YouTube, the comment is going to show up on the screen. youtube.com/Frank0P99 is where I'm hosting this video today. So feel free to comment, go there, view the video. It's live on my page, and drop some comments on there so we can see. I also shared this across through some of the DJ groups, so we should see some people popping on in here in a few days. Usually they wait till the end.
Hey, we got a comment from Gordon. It says,
Gordon,
being tuned into YouTube, just joined on Facebook. So
all right,
on YouTube.
Hey,
Thank you, Gordon.
Yeah, I saw you subscribe, so appreciate that. Always used to help each other. All right, well, more comments from Ivan. Let's stay. So I guess getting a review from a client, would that be considered as networking a little bit? Because he's asking how many days is the best to follow up with the client for a review.
Well, that's more like a client feedback response.
Okay. We're talking about business to business.
That's a little different, yeah, right. Because that is a client.
Yeah. So we're concentrating more on the business to business photographers.
Yeah, industry
coordinators, hotel managers, wedding venue managers, and any other vendor that's going to be part of the team, a working team. And
don't wait on them. Don't wait to network with these people at the event. If you see there's an opportunity, if they're having a membership meeting, if they're having their awards, whatever organization, by means, try to get there. Because there's nothing like being in front of their face.
Okay. What you mentioned some groups earlier. Let me type while I speak. Besides DJ organizations, do you have? Let's start with the DJ organizations. Do you have any that that are local that people can network? DJs can network.
There's another DJ is ADGA, American Disc Jockey Association. They have a Houston chapter. Name, we're a part of Name. We've been part of Name for probably about 10 years. Okay. They've got a very small local Houston chapter as well. And then I'm talking about the ones that are nationally recognized.
Okay. Name, DJ, ADJA, and what was the other one?
And the one Ivan is getting the ball rolling with.
Oh, he is getting one rolling.
I call it a network.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of DJs. He's gotten getting 30 plus DJs to a single event is an accomplishment
in 1 year.
Hey Siri, cancel. Siri's live. I don't know why. So that's an accomplishment. Getting. Why is?
It looks like we're
surrounded by Siri's.
By Siri's, Alexa's.
I know it's not the
Google
coffee.
Home.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Hey Siri, cancel. We are being interrupted by. Let's just not say that word.
Even
Technology. Siri
likes the network.
Exactly. Siri, any networking around here? Shush.
Okay.
Oops,
oh Lord, we're surrounded by iPads. Getting back to the topic of Ivan networking, Ivan's networking group. It's a big accomplishment for him to get that many DJs together. and I think he's working on another get together pretty soon. So we definitely got off track.
Big time. That Siri man just did a big damage on us, right?
Besides, so the idea of networking groups would be to what? Just for those that are just starting DJing and don't have an idea.
Networking is all about sharing, exchange, and updating resources.
Okay.
Just like the
sharing,
guys.
updating, and
Learning
resources. So, as DJs, we can definitely learn from each other. We can share ideas for sure, and we can, learn from those ideas. So it's a pretty good combination. That's actually perfect description. I was kind of trying to fit in it, but no, you're right.
Okay, so Ivan has a question for us that we need to answer for him. It says, how many days is the best to follow up with a client for a review?
I think we did that one already.
Did we do that one already?
Yeah. We did that.
I would wait three or 4 days.
Okay, he's waiting on an answer. So we want to make
Especially
sure.
on Monday. You never, if you meet them like on a Friday or Saturday at a gig or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You definitely don't want to do it Mondays because it's a lot of industry professionals are off on Mondays.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Or they need
recovering.
they're recovering
from the long weekend.
Exactly.
And when you do, you want to do it in the morning, first thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Would you?
because their energy is high.
Okay.
Exactly.
Would you recommend a phone call, text, email?
I would recommend a phone call first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if they
more
leave
on the
a
personal
voice,
level.
if you get their voice message, then an email.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. So
If you can do it live in any way,
yeah.
whether
It will be
it's
the best.
Google Duo or Skype or on the phone, there's nothing like going live because that's how they get to know you. They want to recognize, especially if you have a really good voice too. That's like coffee to their ears.
Well, if you made a good, because sometimes at events you make good connection with people, other vendors, and you don't want it to just die off, and because you could get some vice versa. You can refer a photographer, you can refer a photo booth company, you can refer another planner. So it's good to keep that connection alive, but basically that's what you're doing the next day, right? Hey, remember me? I'm the DJ from the wedding.
It's called watering your plants.
Okay. Wow. And I like and we haven't done it on there, but you also made another analogy with fishing.
Oh,
that was a perfect analogy.
I love to fish. Ivan loves to fish. Hyman loves to fish. Yeah, because it's so parallel to how I like to handle my business or businesses is fishing. If you want to catch a certain fish, you're going to use a certain bait. And so if you want to catch bigger fish, you're going to need a different kind of gear, a more heavier gear, thicker fishing pole, a reel rather than a little Zebco, a bigger hook. And so if you want to catch bigger fish, more money, more corporate, more high-end brides, you're definitely have to understand some principles on fishing and also where to fish.
Right.
They are out there. The high-end clients, the corporate clients. This June will be 40 years I've been an independent mobile DJ. So it's through trial and error and also the power of networking, so that when you are able to be full-time or become successful in your market, then you have the freedom to attend all the networking events, during midweek, daytime, and so it just creates more freedom, which creates more opportunity, which creates more revenue.
Yeah, definitely. And we are going to get to different networking events. Let's expand on that analogy because you say not only ponds, different ponds. For example, my pond is online. I try to get fish from online. That's like my biggest pond, to keep with the analogy. But that's not the only place. So we can, and you said about the pier, maybe moving from that pier to the end, maybe moving from to the middle, you're going to get different fish. You can't expect to fish in the same pond and get different fish. So you have to
change gears,
change it up,
and equipment,
and knowledge of the industries, because the wedding industry is one thing, corporate industry is one thing, schools industry is another thing, especially for us DJs.
Yeah,
we have a viewer question.
Another thing that
Go ahead,
that I would like to mention is I think expos are a huge thing out there for networking.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. The first 2 years we were in operation, we would go to the bridal expos, extravaganzas, and I didn't go there to shop because I was getting married or anything. But I went there and got the vendors. Everybody's hanging out their business cards, their packages. So we just collect. Then we were able to build a database.
Okay.
On everything that we collected. And if we get enough likes by the end of the program, I'm going to give you a really valuable hip tip.
Make sure you like the video, especially here on Facebook. Let me see those hearts come
on how to create more corporate revenue by the power of networking. And it's nothing you don't have to do. Maybe your roadie or your assistant or somebody on your team can do for you. Really,
I'm really interested in that version.
How many likes do we have now?
I don't know if they let us see.
They won't let us see.
They won't let us see it.
Unfortunately, they won't let us see.
Can you see thumbs up? If they give a thumbs up?
I know Carlos Pinto is going happy with it. He wants to see it too.
He's actually loving it.
Yeah, Carlos is ready for that. He wants to grow his business.
Okay, so let's see a few more hearts not only from Carlos Pinto, but from I see Roland too. Roland is
so while you guys are doing that, we got a very good question from Karina Ugia. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. How often do you work with vendors on DJ packages with photo booth service, and how that works for you? So us as DJs, I guess, how do we work with other DJs that have photo booth businesses, and what would be an idea? I mean, I'm guessing Karina is another vendor.
Apparently, we're guessing good.
So how would she work with other DJ vendors, and how work with vendors?
Is she a photo booth operator?
I would have to look her up on my Facebook. Let's get back to that question. Sergio Reese, if Karina, you can let us know if you're another photo booth vendor, DJ vendor, or both, then we would love to answer that question. Ivan, good one watering your plants. Ivan Colmenares, bride to bride is no good for fishing. DJs will know.
That's something that
it's not bad. Francisco Villanueva, photographers watching. Areli Galeano, she's a model. She's watching. She says hi. Hi, Areli.
Karina says is a photo booth owner.
She's a photo booth owner, so she wants to work with other DJs. So let's tackle that one.
Well, she needs to tap into the local Houston DJ networks, ADGA, NAME, groups like Ivan, in just networking.
I know Ivan for a fact. He helps out other photo booth vendors.
He most certainly does. Ivan and I had lunch with another vendor who was helping us with contracts.
Okay.
Over the contracts. She was an event planner. And very key, very resourceful, just in that 1 hour lunch that we had. And again, it was through the power of networking. You just don't know who you have and what resources and skills that they have beyond being a photo booth operator, beyond DJing, until you spend time with them. Definitely. And until you listen to them. Listening. If you can spend 80% of that time window that you have just listening, it's amazing.
People want to be heard.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to be heard, understood, and they also want to work with somebody that can understand what they're trying to do. Like if another DJ is trying to work with a photo booth company, he's gonna have certain things. There's got to be a communication also. So listening when you're trying to get business, listening is definitely key.
One of the things I love to do on my days off, because every day it's different. If I know there's another DJ that's playing in public somewhere, I am definitely going to go check out his groove. And then because you'll also meet other musicians, other agents, other people that are also at that very same event.
Okay.
Every group attracts a certain audience.
Definitely.
Whether you're a vinyl DJ or a mixed mixed
Beat
DJ, or whether you're a taqueria DJ,
Right.
Oh my God! Did
you just put fire on old Houston?
You watch, someone's gonna go register that domain right now.
Oh my goodness.
TaqueriaDJs.com. Okay, I think you got an invitation to lunch, Mike. Karina said, "Let's have lunch." She's ready to grow, network with other vendors.
How did you know I like sushi?
How do you know we like pho? Real
or pho? Faux show.
Oh
Lord! All right, we got a good question from
That's
Gordon.
How you dance. That's how you create the dance when there's this kind of exchange live.
Definitely. DJ Pancake in the house. Jaime Martinez says, "What's up, guys? Great job."
Hello, Jaime the Fisherman Martinez.
The fisherman.
Giovanni Lopez is watching. Ivan Comenades. Hey, I do taqueria.
We're going to take him to Tacos El Piro.
You watch. Ivan's going to grab this. He's going to grab it.
Gordon.
Karina's like, pho, yes.
Keto lunch.
So, for sure.
Pho, she said, Karina says pho. Pho, yes.
Oh, yes.
By the way, let's switch topic right now. Let's talk about keto since we're on the pho market right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? When you network, you got to make sure that when you meet the industry professionals, that your brand is in place. Your website, your social media, your update, contacts, all your information, Twitter, whatever it is. Make sure your brand is in place. Part of your branding is how well you take care of yourself.
Okay.
Because you can't work when you're sick. You can't work when you're down. You can't work when you're out of shape. And I'm telling you, especially in the wedding market, when you meet these wedding planners and event coordinators, I'm sorry to say, they're going to look beyond your skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Being groomed, and wearing, professional attire, maybe a sports jacket, doesn't necessarily have to be a tie all the time, and especially if you're in shape.
Okay.
And I'll keep it honest and real with you. After 38 years of experience, that's going to open up more doors and opportunities for you, because that is a big part of your brand, and that's one of the reasons why we established our Keto Clan networking group was because this January, look out. We're coming after you. Our DJ competitors, we're going to be ready. We ain't waiting till New Year's.
He's going to be like that song.
We're taking photos in January so that we can be ready for the spring wave and the summer groove coming your way. So this has been so fun networking with you guys.
For sure.
The Keto Clan.
Are you going to be like that song says, I'm sexy and I know it.
All right, let's get to Gordon's question. We've made him hold on for enough. Any books or vid series to help advance our networking communications game? Any book or maybe online videos? What's the best way to
you know what? I've got the books and everything. Matter of fact, Gordon, I can send those over to you, and then later on I can post. I got about 10 books. Wow. Audio books, if you have Amazon Audio, there are about 10 really good power networking books that I can recommend as you're driving around. You can listen to them on audio.
Oh, nice. Okay, so DJ Roland says, that's what Photoshop is for. Okay, guess what? We're going to make the next Baywatch calendar DJ.
That's what, hold on, that's what Argelio says. Got to make a 2020 DJ calendar.
But ours is going to call the Baywatch one.
And I do, you know what, since we're talking about Gordon, 6-star entertainers.
5
out of Woodlands, Conroe area. Anyway, what I really like about Gordon and his wife Becky, very both multi-talented, extremely skilled in so many different areas, is they've got a really good advantage in networking because they're both in the same industry, and it always looks good that when you network, you're going to a networking event, try to take someone on your staff, on your team, someone that represents your company or your brand, because there's power in numbers. If you look at all the successful CEOs, Fortune 500 company leaders, they never travel or attend meetings by themselves. I'm not saying have a posse around you. I'm just saying if you could have 2 or 3 people, it always makes you look stronger. And that's just the nature of networking. So that's the good thing about Gordon and Becky, because when they go somewhere, they always go together, and it just makes it stronger. So if you have an opportunity to take someone, do it.
In that, would it be a good idea to work together with another DJ? Because they can be good or bad.
Come on.
Well, how do we thread that line? How do we, I guess, work that idea? So, for example, the reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm a one person.
Number one stunner.
Yeah, I'm a one person. How do you call it? One man band.
One man show. Yeah, one man.
And I would like to get that.
He's his own employee, his own boss.
And my own, I get fired every week for myself. So how would that work for me? Because you're saying that it does work better to have a team or a
to network.
To go. And a lot of people that are watching us are okay. So maybe for networking, it's not a bad idea. But
no, not
I guess
at all.
I was thinking
not for working, not
events.
for gigs, just for networking.
Oh, okay.
No,
so
I was
for
thinking
gigs, it's okay to go solo.
I was thinking about hiring a new client or getting hired by a new client.
Oh, that would be another.
But you're right. I'm getting off topic.
Yeah, no, that would be for another show. Definitely.
Yeah,
we would talk about multi-op.
Yeah. So then for networking, it's a good idea for us 3 to go together.
Absolutely. Strength.
So let's go ahead and open up the other networking groups that are in Houston. Let's talk about them.
Okay, so there are different networking organizations. Some really what I call fishing ponds.
Yeah, for sure.
There is STEP. It's the Society of Talent Professionals. I think they're based out of Dallas, but they have networking events all over Texas. They're called STEP. There's ALEA, the International Live Events, and they have a Houston chapter. Yeah. They have a lot of promoters, event coordinators, and so forth. And for those of you that are into the schools, whether you're doing middle schools or elementaries, there is an organization called a really cool network called the School Dance Network. I think it's like $50 a year.
Oh wow, that's not.
But you get a lot of every month you get their safe school dance playlists. These are the playlists that they provide. You know what the kids are listening to, and where you can get the radio edits to some of those rough songs. And they stay pretty current as far as their music playlist, and you get a lot of discounts, but you get to network and meet a lot of the national DJs that do middle schools and high schools. So
okay, so that's a good one for networking with other, if you're interested in doing schools.
And then there's NAME, the National Association of Mobile Entertainers. That was probably the first networking hub back in the early 90s that we were a part of, and you meet a lot of the hotel hospitality people,
and they're still active.
Oh yes, yeah,
today.
They're growing strong. A lot of caterers, human resources, event planners, but it's really big in the hotel hospitality business.
Oh yeah,
so try to go to a few of their events. You never know until you hit the buffet.
And then, do we have one more? Or
yeah, also chambers. There's, your chamber of commerce, where whatever part of town that you're living in. If you're in the Galleria, they've got a Galleria chamber, Toastmasters. That's a great way, to network with business professionals. BNI, Parkway Business Partners. They have networking things every week, early in the mornings. If you're a breakfast person and you want to meet some industry professionals, I mean, there's a lot. But the ones I just shared with you are pretty nationally known and pretty common as far as networking hubs, especially for DJs.
Did you? I don't remember hearing. Did you say NACE also?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay, National Association for Catering Executives. I believe that's the name of that one. And those are so. For us DJs that are just that don't know anything about it, this is the point to kind of go out and network, but not only just go, because even these places, we're dealing with people. I mean, we're talking to people. We if somebody shoves a card in my face and expects me to call them, it's not going to work. You got to go there, be a part of the group, be a part of the experience, go to the meetings. I think they do it once a month, most of them, right? Once a month.
Yes.
Participate, get to know people, ask them questions. There's a good thing Gordon asked that question, because if you don't know what to ask, you can probably look up for a video online, books that tell you how to talk to people, especially if you're shy and because believe it or not, I was a member of NACE and ILEA. I used to be called something else, but ILEA, and then the ADJA, the I went to Gamma, which is not around.
Gamma.
And it's not just you have to work it for it to work. You can't just show up and expect work.
Exactly.
So for sure, guys, if you're gonna be going to these networking events, go with a plan. Maybe you definitely got to take some business cards. That's the biggest foul you can do, is not take business cards. But go with the plan. Maybe pick one vendor that you see. There's a lot of people at these places. There is typically 50, let's say 20 to 100 people at a networking event. Is that right? There's plenty of people to choose from to network with and talk to, get to know. Maybe every time you go, you meet one or two people and grow that relationship, water that plant. And from my experience going to NACE and ILEA, the first time that I went to the ILEA event, I must have gotten lucky or something. But at that time, the president, she saw that I was new. She came up to me and say, hey, who are you? What do you do? Blah blah blah. So we started working. The next day, she called me and said, hey, I have this benefit. If you're interested in working together, you can go do that. It was not a paid. It was not a paid event. So I said, yeah, sure. It was a Saturday. I mean, I didn't mind. But I had the idea that maybe one day she was going to give me events. So she ended up giving me the rest of the year probably like 6 or 7 events. So she was actually a pretty big wedding planner. So nice. Being open to helping them, because it was an event where nobody was getting paid. It was like one of those cancer foundations, Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish. It was for Make-A-Wish, and she was a planner. And she said, they need a DJ. It's a quinceañera, do you want to do it? So definitely. And then that opened the doors for her to not only trust me, but see my work and see where I can fit in with her clientele.
And when people see your brand of the association that you're with, it's always added muscle. The first 3 years that we decided to go mobile, I joined the Screen Actors Guild and the American Television of Radio Artists. And so with that, we got to put their logo on our business materials. So a lot of times when people look at your website and they see the logo that the association that you're with, sometimes that alone will open doors, because so you're with the Hispanic Chamber. Oh, you're with the Screen Actors Guild or American Federation of Television Artists. Oh, because that's tough.
It's a good conversation opener also.
It is, and it's vice versa. So before you think about joining an association, a networking group, ask, who are they affiliated with? How many other DJs are in that network?
Right.
I I'm talking about industry association. If they've got about 10 or 15 DJs, I'm probably not going to do it.
Right.
Unless you have a unique brand or you're going to be able to offer something that maybe the other DJ companies aren't or haven't. So that is another thing, is do your homework, and you've got plenty of resources to do it.
Awesome. Let's get back to the comments. Carlos, it's so hard to be in shape as a DJ. I guess going back to staying and working out can be hard, but we got to do it.
Is it? Is your
tattoos. I don't get any events because I have tattoos. Come on, Ivan. We know that's not true.
Come on, man. Start suffering.
No, he does get a lot of events. John Fernandez is watching. Okay.
Little JJ. Shout out to Little JJ.
Philly Perez is watching. Julio Aguiano. Mike Krell, another DJ, is watching. What about joining? Okay, we got another good question from Gordon. We'll get back to that. JJ is watching. Karina, Boost works for y'all. Karina, talking about Facebook Boost. Not for me. Dominic Perone. Dominic is actually from Minnesota, another DJ. So he's one of the ones I
Midwest. I bet you he's part of that Midwest DJs clan.
I believe so.
They've got a great network out there.
All right.
He has a group that I joined that helps DJs grow their business. So he's one of the leaders there. It's working out pretty good. All right, so let's get to Gordon's questions because he's pouring them on. What about joining Chamber of Commerce, Business Association, volunteer groups, PTOs, etc.? I believe we touched on that one. Having Facebook stream issues. Okay, yeah, Facebook usually has stream issues. Any warnings on potential problems areas networking, especially within the DJ community? Okay, any warnings or potential problem areas with networking, especially within the DJ community? So is there anything that DJs should watch out for when they're networking with other DJs?
That's a very good question. That's the best question I've heard yet. Yeah, be very careful, because when it comes to being an entrepreneur, time management is everything. Your time is valuable on how you invest it, especially if it's full time. So if you're thinking about joining or becoming a part of another DJ network, I would monitor and watch what the network is talking about. Are they spending more time talking about branding or tools or software, or are they spending more time gossiping, cursing, all the stuff that really is it's not gonna, just a waste of time. So invest on what's gonna build you and not kill you. Kill your integrity, kill your time, and because time is money. And so you work real hard. You've got thousands and thousands of dollars invested in your gear, in your wardrobe, in maintaining your vehicle, insurance, all that stuff. You've got that responsibility for. So now, how are you going to invest all that? And it's called time management. So if you can invest in other network DJ groups, that are about building, you're in the right groove.
That's a really good question.
That was
a great answer too. And I think most of the groups allow you to go in for free before you decide, right?
Yeah.
They allow you to go in, kind of observe. If it's good for you, then you can become a member. And so it's a good question, great answer.
Yep.
Because the other thing is, you're going to be other industries, other event professionals know about these groups and know the fame they may have. Right. So if you're a part of a group that's considered not good to work with, maybe they have too much ego, this group of DJs or whatever, then you're going to be, as soon as you say, and I'm a member of so-and-so group, they're going to be like, oh, really? Okay, thank you for telling us.
Just because they're not commenting doesn't mean they're not watching.
Yeah.
Because a lot of veteran DJs that have been in this business around a long time and that have that certain industry maturity, I can guarantee you they're making decisions on who they're going to call if another extra gig comes up, or they need help, or maybe they want to contract you independently, they are listening with their eyes and ears.
Well, and over the time, especially for DJs that are starting out, your name is going to carry with you. If you cancel an event with another DJ, Mike's going to tell me, Gman's going to tell me, so-and-so is going to tell me, hey, I had this experience with this DJ, so be careful, just make sure you do you do your due diligence. And that's going to stay with you for as long as other DJs, and that's going to carry with you. If you're known as a person that doesn't follow through with your word, you're going to have a hard time getting work, period.
Yep.
Yeah, and ask questions. I love meeting new DJs and asking them questions like, man, what's your favorite market to groove?
Yeah.
Can you tell me maybe in the last year, what's the most kind of events that you've done?
Right.
And then you can go with that.
Yeah.
It's not so much about, hey, excuse me, but I don't think I've met you before. What's your name?
Right.
But if you come in with
speaking
the industry language, it's always a warm up or an icebreaker.
An icebreaker. And it gets them rolling. It gets them talking, especially if you got the right question. If I ask you about photography, you're not gonna be like, dude, I don't know. If I ask you about fishing, then you can go on and on. If I ask you about equipment, you can also go on and on. So structuring your question for the person, depending on their industry, is a good idea, and then that will lead them to getting them talking. Another
killer network. What will kill your network is I just went blank. Don't flatter people.
That's a good one.
People are wise enough or intelligent enough to know when it's BS.
BC.
Encourage people. Compliment their strengths.
Okay.
Or what you admire or respect, but don't flatter.
So
that will
a good rule of thumb would be don't comment on the person, but comment on their actions.
That would be a healthier,
right? So hey, Mike, you look beautiful today.
You look beautiful.
It can be taken so many ways, right?
Sure
but
can.
hey, Mike, I like the way you
dance.
I like the way you speak on the microphone. That's more.
You got a great voice.
Yeah. So don't compliment the person. Compliment the actions.
The skill, the talent.
It's a good rule of thumb.
Yes. Yeah. Don't flatter.
Yeah, because if you come up to a woman, hey, you look beautiful today, that's an automatic. You're already starting off with the wrong foot.
Right there.
Yeah, that'll trip you up.
Cool. Well, we're coming up on the hour, Mike. Is there any other things that you want to wrap it up with before we sign off?
You are what I call a groovepreneur. You're more than just a DJ. You are part of an event planner. You are the music coordinator. You are the producer of your show. You've got many hats as a DJ professional. So utilize those resources. And do we have enough hearts for me to share the?
Oh yes, they're coming in. Yep.
Is it like coming in like rain? Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty much from Ivan, DJ Pancake.
Okay, I will share.
Hearts are coming in.
Some other guys. Come on, guys.
This one really good nugget.
All right.
If you're doing a corporate event, or especially at a festival, I always take an assistant with me. My roadie, my DJ assistant, maybe somebody I'm training. My phone wants to know. Anyway, I always take an assistant with me. So here's what happens. During the event, I give my assistant a clipboard with a music request list. Okay. I have them go around to all the vendors, whether they have a moonwalk, a face painting, and I have them ask, hey, the DJ wants to know what kind of music you want to, what's your favorite song? Wow. What would you like played? He'll start writing them down. Well, here's our card. And he'll start handing out our cards. They're out there networking with all the vendors. So by I don't know, maybe after the first hour or so, I'll try to inject, as many songs. I'll give a shout out to the Moonwalk people. I'll give a shout out to the caterers, the face painters, and then because I'm also giving them a plug. I'm not just playing their song. I'm giving them a plug.
Right.
Meanwhile, we're handing out our cards. I've gotten maybe about 15% of client referrals from those vendors at that festival event. We put those calls. We created a separate vendor list. We'll send out Christmas cards. We'll send out Hanukkah cards. We'll keep them updated with everything. So over 38 years, we have a very healthy relationship with a lot of vendors because of the power of networking.
Wow.
Have fun.
Awesome.
That's a good idea. That's kind of like
you left me with more questions to ask. For us that do open houses at venues, that's a great idea.
Oh,
well, that's actually what I actually do when I'm doing open houses for venues. I walk around. I leave. If I'm by myself, I'm gonna have to leave that thing on autoplay. Somehow it's an open house, but I go around and talk to every single vendor that is on site, and I don't ask them about a specific song, but
if
hey,
you can
but I
plug them.
network with them. Hey, wow, I love the cake. You know what I mean?
yes.
Things like that.
Absolutely. That's creating bridge. You have the opportunity
Yeah.
to create a bridge, and it doesn't cost you anything. Your mouth doesn't cost you anything to build a bridge.
Exactly.
Utilize that resources because it's all going to come back. If you got a good groove, it's naturally going to come back.
You
It
either
sure is.
you either build the bridge or the wall.
That is the point. You're gonna build one thing or another.
Exactly.
Well, I want to thank you, Mike, for being here.
Saludos. I love your show.
Awesome questions. Awesome topic. People are definitely still commenting on it. Thank you for taking the time for being here. Thank you for your input, your knowledge, and everything you're doing for.
Well, you're a part of the new pioneer movement that's going on in our industry media. So saludos to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're trying. We're trying.
Exactly.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you for tuning in. We have a lot of questions still in the Facebook comments. We're going to get to them for sure in just a moment. And we're going to reply to them live on comment. So
Comments.
thank you once again. Francisco Perez with Elegante Entertainment.
DJ Gman and
DJ Mike, Steppin Out Entertainment.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. That's going to wrap it up for us today. So we'll see you next time.
Have a fun groove.